exactly. I like a tweeting song, Alex.
Next one.
Well, good morning, gentlemen, and welcome along to what is the official unveiling of our new management team. Tommy Wright, Callum Davidson. We're on a 2-year deal. That's to June 2015. I look forward to working certainly with Callum, which will be a new experience, certainly directly. And obviously I've had a 1.5 years with Tommy, which has been enjoyable. I hope that continues. 2 years minimum, maybe beyond. So it doesn't move down to the championship.
Yeah, Tommy, how delighted are you to be the new St Johnstone manager?
Obviously I'm really pleased, excited about it, and delighted that the chairman, and the board of directors, seen fit that I was someone that was capable to take this club forward.
When Steve Lomas went to Millwall, were you shocked by that, and were you tempted to go to Millwall with him?
I think there's been a lot of speculation, over the last couple of months about, Steve moving on, even during the season. So it really didn't come as a surprise to me. Obviously he asked me to go with him, and I felt that the move wasn't right for me. And because since I've come to this football club, I've really enjoyed myself. My wife enjoys the area, and it's a football club that's run in the right way, and it's and it's something that I look forward to hopefully taking the club forward.
So what are your ambitions for this season?
Well, I'd like to throw it around in Europe. It'd be nice. It'd be nice for the fans as well. Well, we've 16 players in the squad at the minute. Obviously, over the next few weeks, we're going to add to that, build to that, and we want to be competitive out in the pitch. We want to make sure that we continue with the traits that's done as well over the last few seasons. We've been hard to beat. We're a team that's very much built on teamwork, and we'll look to be as competitive as we can in the SPL.
As soon as I knew Tommy wasn't going to be following Steve down to Millwall, that was the time I was phoning Tommy up, got him in, sat him down, and agreed terms.
What qualities does Tommy have to make a good manager for St Johnstone?
Well, first and foremost, I think people are probably aware already, but he has been a manager in his own right over in Ireland, and he dealt with many aspects of the job. Even a commercial manager for a while, which was good. But he brings stability. He's well known to the players, which is important. He's got respect. He's got knowledge of the game, formations, tactics. He's got a lot of contacts. So yeah, he's going to bring a lot to the club.
Obviously, you got management experience. Can you remind me a little bit about what your experience is in the managerial capacity back in Ireland?
Well, I started off at Limavady, and they were bottom of the table when we took over, and we finished 7th that year, and then I moved on to Ballymena 2 seasons after that, after finishing 5th. Done quite well at Ballymena, brought some young players through, sold one player to Blackburn, and then went to Distillery, and I had a period at Norwich in between that as goalkeeping coach, then worked at Shamrock Rovers with Michael O'Neill, and then obviously got the job at Distillery, and within 6 weeks they went into administration. So that was probably the most difficult job I had, but we done really well there. We won a cup and we got a top 6 place, so I think I've got a good grounding in management. People will point to the fact that it's Irish League and part-time, but I don't think that's a concern, because you still have to do the job, whether it's part-time or full-time, and you still have the same problems to deal with. You still have the same organisational things. You still have to deal with budgets. So it's, I think I've got a good ground, and obviously the 18 months that I've had, at St Johnstone has given me a really good insight into how the club runs, and and I've got a better knowledge now of Scottish football when I first came.
Obviously a few players left at the end of the season, obviously Tommy Davidson and Liam Craig, but in terms of the guys that have signed the back up, how happy are you with the squad just now, and where are you looking to make improvements?
Well, I'm happy with the squad at the minute. Obviously, with 16 players re-signed, I think it was important after losing Liam and Murray and Viney had gone, that we kept the backbone of the team, and Alan Manus, Fraser Wright, Dave Mackay obviously signed a lot earlier in the season, Gary Miller's re-signed, so that gives us a good nucleus at the back, because I think other than Celtic we had the best defensive record last season, and that's important to keep all those players there. You know, with young players like Stevie May and Liam Caddis, they'll get an opportunity this season because the squad will be maybe 1 or 2 players shorter or smaller than last season, and I accept that, and we've just got to encourage and improve our young players and give them the opportunity to come and step up. But over the next 3-4 weeks, we'll be working really hard to bring in players, to add to the squad, because we do, obviously at 16, we do need 3 or 4 more players at least.
Really chuffed, I was a little bit of a surprise when it came, but it was, let's put it this way, I was considering whether I was going to keep playing or not, and obviously that was kind of my sort of dilemma. Was I going to keep playing? Did they want me to keep playing? And this opportunity came along. It's, very, very fortunate and honoured to have the position. Obviously I had the trust of Tommy and the chairman, so I absolutely delighted.
How did it come about?
It was just a phone call. I was in regular dialogue with the chairman about my position at St Johnstone, because my contract finished the end of May, and I obviously didn't know what was happening. I didn't know whether I was going to keep playing, but the chairman assured me that I'll be here next season in some capacity, whether it was community, whether it was under 20s, whether I was still playing. But I had to find out whether I was playing or not, and then go from there. And obviously to get that call from Tommy to say, listen, there's a position for you. Would you like it? It was just before I went on holiday, so I was pretty pleased, to be honest with you.
Well, I've Callum and Alec as my staff, along with Fergal and Graham Kirk, and obviously Tommy Campbell as kitman. So I've looked at the staff and I thought, I've watched Callum, with the under-20s. I spoke to the chairman about him. He's someone that the club rate very highly, and he's someone that I feel has got qualities that can come in and help. But he's been given the title of assistant manager, but very much, in terms of the football matters, it'll be, myself. Callum and Alec will work closely together.
It was a good appointment by Tommy. I think Callum brings a lot as well. Experienced pro, former international player. Again, well respected by the players, and obviously we're having a career in England. He's got a few contacts down there as well, which will be helpful for us.
Also got to say as well, really, that I am by title, but me and Alec will work together really closely. Alec Cleland, we'll work as a team, and we'll work to help Tommy. Right through the club, not just the first team squad, but under 20 squad as well, because we think it's really important that we try and create a pathway for the young players to come through. I think it's important at a club like St Johnstone, to try and encourage or give them hope that there's an opportunity for them, because last year probably a couple of boys maybe a little bit disappointed, didn't get any chances to play, although we did have a good season. I think a club like St Johnstone has to produce more of their own, and the chairman's also mentioned that it is, and it's something that me and Alec will, as well as the first team, will look at too.
Were you shocked when Steve Lomas left for Millwall?
Not really, no. I think Steve's also probably made no hidden fact that he wanted to go back down to England, so I think it was always going to happen. He was always going to get an opportunity, and I think it was somebody told me an odds checker. I don't look at that at all, but he was favourite from right early on, so there was always a possibility. It's probably surprising that he probably went during the close season, but all the best to him, and hope he does well. Tough job he's got down there at Millwall, back in London, so I'm sure he's delighted.
I think it was always coming, and I said that in the press a few times, that the club St Johnstone's size, to be third in the league, qualify for Europe 2 years in the trot. I mean, you do well to avoid people picking it up on the radar. It wasn't just if, it was just going to be when,
Just what's the situation currently with Richard Britton?
Well, it's rumbling on. We're hoping that the football authorities will make a decision sometime soon. Right now, as far as we're concerned, he's a St Johnstone player, signed a contract in January, and we expect him to be at training on the 27th of June, unless somebody tells us otherwise.
Have you had discussions with Ross County and with Richard Britton in the last few months?
Yeah, I've spoken to Richie and Roy. I spoke to Roy yesterday, and we'll probably be speaking on a kind of daily basis, trying to get something resolved. But it's beginning to be a bit of an irritant now, so we'd like to get it sorted sooner rather than later.